Hello, this is another Silk Invest Frontier Markets Insight. I'm Baldwin Berges of Silk Invest, and I'm here today with my colleague Hesham Saad. How are you today, Hesham?
I'm fine, Baldwin. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Hesham is our investment director. He is based in Cairo, and he focuses on our Middle East, North Africa equities, and he is also the lead portfolio manager for our Frontier Equities fund. Hesham just got back from Vietnam, and we're talking about his trip there and his impressions. Hesham, what are your thoughts about Vietnam? How did it go?
Actually, it was an exciting business trip, Baldwin. It was my first trip to Vietnam. It's an amazing country, very beautiful, cheerful also in that time of the year, as they are waiting for Tet, which is the Chinese New Year. So streets are full of flowers, very cheerful, kind of lights in the night. The weather is about 28 to 30 degrees all over the year in Ho Chi Minh City, which I visited. It's the capital of business, located at the south. It's a very clean city, by the way, Baldwin, and that's mainly driven by the culture, as everyone wakes up at 6 a.m., begin to clean in front of his house or shop. So the city is crowded. It should be expected not to be so clean as it is actually.
I see. Okay, and so it has about 90 million population, this country. Is that mostly an urban population, Hesham?
In Ho Chi Minh City, like 8 million people lives. The country is almost all of it is coast, confronting the sea. It's an agricultural economy, so I think it should be the population should be dispersed all over the coast, I think, but mainly in cities, of course.
Very interesting. And so, what is the economy made up of?
Actually, they have acute 5.3 GDP gross in 2012, which is expected to remain intact. The consensus estimate for 2013 is 5.5%. It is still an agriculture-based economy, but things changed in the recent years, as also manufacturing became in recent years a major part of their GDP, accounting for 26% in 2012. And actually it's driving most of their gross in manufacturing and helping their currency, backing their currency up, as the export gross is exceeding import gross on a decent base.
I see. So, and what is the biggest export market for them? Is it Europe, the US, or is it really dispersed?
I must say it's a little bit dispersed. They export their agriculture mainly to the fish part is exported to Europe and the US. Some of it is exported to Japan. Electronics actually are exported everywhere, like Samsung mobiles, for example. They have, but mainly they depend on the US actually.
Interesting. And so, when you went there, what kind of companies did you visit?
Actually, I visited like 9 companies. I tried to diversify my schedule there over some sectors. I tried to avoid banks mainly, because they have a large NPL ratios over there. But they have some reforms on that side.
Yes, that seems like it's one thing that stuck out. It's another country that seems to be really taking very drastic steps to solve their financial problems in the banking sector. Similar, I think, to what Nigeria has been doing, right? I think they're creating a special fund for NPLs. Is that right?
Yes, they are creating a special vehicle for carrying their NPLs, trying to cleaning the mess on the bank's financial. But in such a socialism country, things just go slower than we expect.
Well, at least they're doing something about it, you know. That's the important thing. You can't really say that for many developed countries.
They are taking a lot of reforms in 2013. They're talking about the foreign ownership limit in the stock market, maybe by issuing non-voting shares. They are talking about smart tax breaks on the tax reform side. They are talking on too many bank reforms. Actually, their monetary policy is quite stable, as the government tries to keep rates as low as possible. Still, banks lend at a 14%, and deposits earned like 10% on average. Still, the country is not under any major credit risk, Baldwin, as credit is about 96% of GDP. Also, liquidity is quite high and relatively huge, actually, with market supply, with money supply actually up 12% year to date, only in January.
Are we going to be increasing our position there investment-wise after your trip, or is it something that we're going to be watching? What's the final conclusion?
Actually, we are going to increase our positions, Baldwin.
Okay.
There, the market is quite cheap. All of the 9 companies that I just looked, and this is a norm there actually in the stock market, pays a generous dividend yield and have a double-digit growth rate in earnings and sales. So it offers lots of opportunities actually. And to tell you the truth, Baldwin, we are not the first to go there.
Oh, I'm sure we're not.
You'll find like many companies, many stocks on the stock exchange exceed at the limit of their foreign ownership limit. So I think we are not the first to go there.
I see. No, there's actually a few asset managers locally based in the region there, which are increasing, you know. But we're out there as well, and that's part of the frontier markets. And what I find really interesting is that you are doing this out of Cairo, looking at the frontier markets, and I think that's one of the things that I think makes Silk Invest such an interesting place. And I'm really glad that you're taking more time to go out to the Far East and look at all these nascent markets. So I hope you also, as you see, we streamed some pictures during this chat, and there's some pictures that Hesham took, and you know, there's a lot of motorcycles. And I think the Starbucks we saw, that was the first day it was open. Was that right, Hesham?
Yes, it is. It was actually the first day, and there were standing lines.
Amazing.
Exceeding like a kilometer or something like this.
All right. Well, did you get a coffee at least, or were there too many people standing in line?
Yeah, actually, I prefer to get it at any other Starbucks.
Okay, well, I hope to have a Starbucks coffee in that place with you sometime soon, my friend.
Thank you.
All right. Baldwin Berges and Hesham Saad of Silk Invest. Thanks for listening.